In this week's episode of Did Y'all See, we're talking about Gabby Douglas and all the criticism, Kirk Franklin's relationship advice, and a very special We See You. Get into all this tea on Did Y'all See. Welcome to another episode of Did Y'all See? Hello, ladies. Are you ready to talk about these topics? Okay. Okay. So the first up is Gabby Douglas. I don't know what it is about this girl. People just live to try to tear her down despite all of her accomplishments. So first, they're trying to say that her hair is still not together. Then, when they were singing the national anthem after they won, they were getting on her because her hand wasn't over her heart. So what do you guys think about all of this? What is this really about?
I just feel like because Gabby is a black girl, and if it's because obviously when you do something athletic, your hair is going to sweat out because of all the turbulent things that have been occurring in the United States. I believe that's why she didn't put her hand over her heart. I think white people who live in small town America still think that you need to be patriotic, or black women still think that your hair needs to be laid, even though clearly you're doing. It's people who are getting on her, people who are not realistic and who are not self-aware about what is going on or what it takes to do in the sport.
I feel like it was an honest mistake. Even in her kind of apology, she seemed very lighthearted, and she's doing so much that most of us could say we could never do. Right. And it's important for her to understand, like, you don't need validation to say, like, I'm a success. So now that she's young and she's experiencing this, even the criticism with her hair, it's kind of like, I can still win the Olympic Games and people are going to judge me.
I think that she had said in the past, the comments about her hair and like about her body, about, being a strong, muscular athlete, things of that nature. In the last Olympics, she kind of learned, how to get thicker skin about it. And I think that's good. I think everybody needs to have thicker skin in life in general. But I still think every criticism of her at this Games has pretty much been bullshit. And I just really felt irritated for her. I was irritated for her, and then I was just really pissed off after the whole, hand on your heart thing. I'm like, this is the national anthem. It's not the Pledge of Allegiance. Yeah. There's no way you have to act. If I'm looking and standing at attention and looking at the flag and I'm not then clearly I'm fine. Just leave me be.
I don't like any of it either. And particularly, I don't like really any of it. But the hair thing really irritates me because it's a lot of black people perpetuating that. And my thing is, it's not about sweating it out, or it's not about how it should be styled or how it should look. I'm like, this is black hair. And this is what black hair looks like as it grows out of your scalp. This is the natural texture. This is no brush. This is no edge control. This is just it. So if you don't like that, just say you don't like black hair. It's not about being kept or tidy or whatever. You don't like that texture of hair. And it's a lot of black people saying that. And that's what's irritating to me. So I'm just like, we still have a long way to go as far as acceptance, because we're trying to go into where people talk about this natural movement, but the natural hair still has to look a certain way for it to be acceptable. So we're really not there yet. So that irritates me. And then the hand on the heart thing, I'm just like, please. All this country has been going through, and I don't think that was her motivation. I just think she was not thinking about it and was just focused on, who knows what she was thinking about, shoot. But my thing is, Donald Trump didn't stand with his hand on his heart at the RNC or one of the debates, and no one said anything about it. So it's just like a way to attack black girls for nothing. So did y'all see, speaking of the gymnast for the USA, Simone Biles, her story is coming out now, now that she has a spotlight on her, and her parents were saying that her father is actually her biological grandfather, and he was saying that they adopted, she and her sister, when they were very young. Simone was like 2 or 3, because their mother was addicted to drugs and alcohol. So it's a great story. That's all she knows. So she doesn't really even consider. It's not like a big deal for her at all. It's just that we're just learning about it. But and the father just said, she had struggles with drugs and alcohol. Period. But the mother didn't like that, and she came out and was saying that they are defaming her character. So what do you guys think about that?
I don't like that. This ain't the time. I mean, granted, I don't like the conversation anyway, because I feel like in the Olympics it's too much of a focus on trying to find a distraction to make somebody more relatable, or to make them like the old rags to riches, you pulled yourself up by your bootstraps story, so that white people could be like, I like this little Negro girl. Let's root for the little Negro. But no, so I don't like the conversation as a whole anyway. But this ain't the time for you to step up, mama, and be like, y'all defaming my character. If your own father is saying you had issues with drugs and alcohol, and that's all he said, because they even did a little like thing for NBC or whatever about it for the Olympics. Like, what is there? Where is? Did she say that that's not what happened? So why are you talking? You think that you ain't been around, and you think this is why somebody wants to, the way somebody wants to see you now? When I'm in the Olympics, this is what you're doing?
I mean, they have a relationship, but it's just, you know, they just see each other on holidays, and every 3 months, it's not like...
But that's the truth. That's my story. Anybody who would see me would think these people are my parents. The fact is, they are my grandparents. My mom had some issues with drugs and alcohol. She's not around. Ain't nobody say you was a deadbeat.
Right. Keep it moving. I mean, her mom probably feels guilty, and maybe feels some kind of like, oh my gosh, you know, I wasn't a good mother, and look at my daughter, and I can't get myself together, but it's not really Simone's responsibility. And no one, if you know the technical definition of defamation, no one defamed her. Like, that's the truth. This is what happened. Live your life, support your daughter, and then keep it moving.
I mean, I would be mad too, but then I wouldn't be like, they defamed my character. Like, I was an addict. And the thing is, the definition of an addict is you're always an addict. Like, you always have to work not to go back to that place. So, girl, just... And I know she said she's been clean since 2007, so I guess she maybe wants credit for being clean since 2007. But the fact is, you didn't raise her, and you were addicted to drugs and alcohol. There's no lie. So I don't understand. It is a distraction. It is a distraction from what is going on right now. And my thing is, I wouldn't. And this is, I don't want to put more dirt on the woman's name, but it's like, as a mother, you would know not to do anything to take the attention away from your baby at this moment when she's doing something game-changing. You know what I'm saying?
This week we have a new segment called What You Watching? And last night it wasn't exactly trending, but Megan Good appeared on Unsung Hollywood. And just like, I'm pretty sure you're thinking the same thing, I was thinking like, girl, why are you on Unsung? Because you're not 70, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway, it was a very interesting story about her life and, of course, all the tea about why she wore that particular blue dress at the BET Awards. And interestingly enough, she was actually presenting an award with Bow Wow, but at the last minute, like Kelly Price, she had to do the gospel award with Lala. So that was the controversy. And also, she spoke about drinking a lot, partying a lot. One of her friends said they were like drunks. They were horrible drunks, and that can definitely explain why Megan is very much so into her Christian faith. So if you saw it, let us know what you thought about it in the comments below.
That's actually interesting.
Yeah.
Now I want to watch it.
I didn't know she was an alcoholic or functional.
I knew she was out here. I didn't know she was out here like that, though.
She was, I could tell, because every time they had pictures of her, she would be wearing the same American Apparel, like shiny tights.
Like she ain't going home.
Girls, when I tell you, I used to literally be like, Megan could stay out. She would be out like every night in them same pants with some heels on and a little jacket, like on her way inside of somebody's club in LA. I was like, she don't go home.
Her friends.
So when she got saved, I was like, oh, well, okay.
Her mom was like, you know, it was a very hard time in their relationship because she was like, okay, Megan is trying to find herself, and Megan didn't like that. You know, as a child actor, everyone's trying to formulate your path, and she kind of wanted to branch out from that. But her friend was like, yeah, like we would like get drunk, especially when I mean, I definitely know, like you get drunk, and then the next morning you're like, okay, what's up? Where we going? What's good? You know, and you know, now that she's found Simone, and she fasted too before they even started dating. So you know, there was a process to the promise.
Oh!
Right? Okay.
So did y'all see Kirk Franklin?
Are you with me?
Oh yeah, we at the church ain't going nowhere. Anyway, y'all know we love Kirk Franklin, but we had to give him a little bit of a side eye this week, or I did personally, because he wrote this whole thing about he and his wife and how they had this argument at the airport, and he basically left his wife at the airport, told her to go back home. He bought her a ticket, told her to just go. And he was saying, you know, and I'm really thankful that she stuck with me. And he was like, ladies, if you're a man, he was like, give your man a chance to grow and mature, basically, but don't make it a sequel. And, you know, when I read it initially, I was like, oh, okay, you know, that's nice. And then I scrolled down, and someone left a comment, and she was like, you know what? She was like, this was just a wasted opportunity. She's like, I feel like so many times men in the public eye don't speak to other men about what they could be doing right or differently in a relationship. It's all, you're going to use your mistake to tell women what they should be doing. And so I was like, well, I see both sides. I don't think Kirk was wrong, but I definitely see her side. And there's not enough men giving men advice about what they should and shouldn't do in a relationship. It's always, hey, woman, do this. Wait for me while I'm terrible. So anyway, what do you guys think about the situation? And do you agree with one or the other, or how do you see it?
Whew, Tammy is it
Tammy.
Miss
Mm-hmm.
Tammy. Miss Tammy has been through a lot with Kirk, like a lot. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I totally, like you, I saw it and I was like, how wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
And then I scrolled down and I saw that lady's comment and I was like, what? I was
Yes.
Because especially in the church, and I only say this because, we have the shoulder preachers now, and Jamal Bryant says like off the chain things, like what is wrong with you? And everybody just kikis. It's really just this fraternity of like boys will be boys and whatever. And I just think with Miss Tammy and Kirk, it takes a special kind of love to put up with, because that's not you just didn't leave her at the airport, you know what I mean? There were so many other things in their marriage. So I agree with the comment, like he's definitely testified about his stuff.
Right.
But I just, I think we all have to be real, like certain people love people in a way that they can be loved and they can still be together.
Leaving her at the or buying a ticket for her to go back home is really hurtful and like harsh. And then for you to cry and like remorse and put it on Facebook, I feel like it's a huge gesture where, I don't know, Miss Tammy, she's taking a lot with Kirk. So in general, women need to like analyze, okay, if I'm with this guy, and if you're married, I guess it's different. I'm not married, so I can't speak from that point. But if you're with someone dating and they treat you like this over and over again, and I said this a few weeks ago, like when people show you who they are, believe them. When do you follow your understanding your value, your worth of who you are? Like, am I going to sink low and stay with this guy just because we're in this commitment? Or am I going to put myself first and try to figure out what I need?
It was almost like one of those things where it's like you're telling a testimony, but like it's kind of like half done, like and that's what makes it not work. It's like because you don't take full responsibility for yourself. It's like it's be like we're talking about addicts and things, like a drug addict being like, so at the end of the day, what I learned was from my addiction, y'all got to be down for me. Y'all got to stand with me. Don't give up on me. All right, am I right? That's it. That's all I needed to learn. And it's like, no, so he meant well.
Your testimony.
Exactly. Exactly. If anything, you just, you say, I made this mistake, and what I learned is, I'm very lucky that I have somebody who stood with me through all of my crap. And me as a man, even if you don't tell other men, another man can look at you as, and take your testimony and try to do better. Even if you don't tell them, explicitly, men do this.
Yeah, I agree with what everybody said. I wrote the thing, but I'm just like, it would have been great for him to say, guys, get your issues together before you go into a marriage and bring another woman with that. You know what I'm saying? Men always want to talk about how women are supposed to be submissive, but you ain't got your stuff together yet. Submit to what? Why? So you can leave me at the airport? And then I have to leave myself. So I'm just like, girl, I just can't. I'm not mad at him either because I love Kirk Franklin. I feel like he says a lot of good things. And I feel like he has spoken. I went to his concert. He did speak a lot to men. But I'm just like, that. There are so many more people who are going to see it on Facebook. And you have a lot of women followers. Just don't talk to your brothers because they're the ones who need it.
So for this week's We See You, we're shouting out a familiar face. It's a young lady who has written a very good book. And she's Veronica Wells.
Thank you for the introduction. So I'm here to tell you guys about my new book, Better Days. It's about my grandmother, about her life growing up in Jamaica, the people she dated, and then the man she married, my grandfather. And their marriage was a lot dysfunctional. So the premise of the story is how she navigates her way through the marriage with abuse and infidelity, and then ultimately chooses forgiveness. So I think that's basically it. It's on Amazon right now. I want to tell you guys it's $17.50, but that's only because I get $5 per book. So I'm not trying to scam anybody. That's the reason why the price is so high. So check it out if you're interested. Better Days. We're actually going to be doing a book club, so we're going to be discussing it throughout the next couple months or two or whatever. So if you're interested in checking this out, the link to purchase the book will be in the description box below. So for this week's edition of Cold Tea, our producer told us we have to do 1 minute again. So we're talking about Tamar Braxton and the fact that she's still talking about her dismissal from The Real. Basically, she said she's not cool with any of the ladies right now, and she wished they would stop speaking about her, basically.
Yeah, I don't know. I like to give Tamar second chances, but she's being ridiculous. She's like almost 40. Have a little bit of class and grace. So, yeah, be quiet.
She really needs to chill if you want to continue working in this industry.
Oh, good point.
Yeah. She's just a grown-ass baby. That's what I get from her. I tried to give her a chance in the past, but I didn't give her a real chance. Let me quit lying. But I don't like her personality at all. It's like she's too spoiled, and so she takes that into every facet of her life.
And she tried to go on Tamara. Really? Tamara's living her life. Her babies are so cute. Like, just let people live. I don't know.
No one's saying anything about you.
It's you at them, which just explains why she was let go. So let us know what you think about the fact that Tamar's still chatting. I know you may be tired of talking about it as we are, but it's interesting. Thank you for watching this episode of Did Y'all See? For more videos just like this one, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/MadameNoire.